Hello, Americans, and other friends and subscribers around the world. Back again, man. This morning's going to be a little bit different video. It is flipping freezing. We woke up to snow out there. I might take a little footage, might not. Not a ton of snow, but probably not much, man.
That's skiff.
Yeah, skiff.
Yeah,
pretty thick skiff.
yeah.
But
Dusting.
yeah, no, of course, no calling for that. They
Well, they said no precipitation was in the
whatsoever.
forecast,
Yeah,
but,
that don't mean crap.
yeah, we've had a couple days of.
It's always funny too, man, 'cause they tell you that, you know, you watch the local weather thing. They tell you that the night before, and then when you get up in the morning and there's snow out there, then they talk like they knew.
Yeah.
I want that job.
Yeah.
But then something else, you know, I'd mentioned in the yesterday, was it yesterday's video? Yeah, yesterday's video.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
yesterday's.
With the road trip video, I think I was talking about, you know, and I mentioned, you know, climate change and, you know, whatever it is you want to call it. And, you know, I had a few comments and stuff about that, you know, because, dude, it's been changing forever, man. Yeah. You know, things.
There's a constant cycle.
Yeah, it's not, you know, I ain't going around conspiracy theories and government crap and, you know, I mean, there's stuff that goes, you know, along them lines or whatever, and we're not, you know, I'm not that kind of channel. But I am the kind of channel that for my, for you all, my friends and my family, and, you know, we live this way by choice and wanted to, you know, me and Miss Kitty wanted to homestead and, you know, live in the middle of the woods and everything since we were teenagers when we first got together. But there's more to it than just, you know, living the,
right.
You know, or, you know.
There's a reason.
Yeah, living, you know, like our grandparents or our grandparents' did. Right. There's more to it, you know, going back to the earth, or, you know, going against the grain and the way we live, you know, and people, you know, since the motorhome days and stuff, man, you know, criticisms and people thinking that we're crazy, hippies and, you know, and all, and I'm all right with that, man, homestead hippies.
Yeah.
You know, that's, but the, how do I want to approach that? Miss Kitty's all, you need to tone it down. They're going to shut us down, you talk about that crap.
Well, there's just, you know, people that think that there's nothing going on
Are naive.
aren't really paying attention.
Yes.
To the natural cycle of everything.
Yeah, because like I've said about, man, you know, as far as weather, so let's go talk about climate change. And I ain't talking, you know, they did global warming is what they called it first. And I mean, they started talking about this. We were talking about this earlier and been listening to a couple podcasts.
Our whole lives we've heard about climate change.
Our whole lives, man.
Entire lives.
You know, so they've been talking about it for, you know, 40 plus years. Mm-hmm. And, you know, people joke it off, especially, you know, 40 plus years later. Well, dude, that stuff that they were talking about and that we heard about in science and school and all that stuff, dude, it's all starting to...
We can see it.
To roll,
We're
the things that we had heard.
The changes.
Right. And we're going to see more and more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the main thing, like I was saying about our lifestyle, is ours is more just self-reliant, you know, putting up the food. We've tried to grow the food here, and was just talking about that a minute ago, saying just in the 7 years or whatever on the homestead, the amount of food that we've been able to grow here, you know, which one thing is different, totally growing, you know, we've had gardens forever, and it's a totally different, you know, because it's a shorter season. Well, not only is it a shorter season than the flatlands, but it's a shorter season because of the you know, the weather and all that. Yeah, it's just been just crazy. And then something that really, the part that had gotten me fired up, and I was like, I'm going to get on there and I'm going to tell them, is a comment, and I can't make out his whole name, and dude, the comment was on there. I read it and told Miss Kitty, said, grab the
Chromebook.
The Chromebook or the laptop, grab that and read this comment. from this guy.
Because he was looking at it on his phone.
Yeah, because I was looking at it on my phone. And it's from, and it's ain't got his whole name, but it's Grumpy Old MAR, and then it's ... So I don't know exactly what his whole name was, man. So, you can even email me at Idaho Hillbilly. But he sent me a couple of links to some things. And I'm just going to read a little bit of the comment.
But the comment's gone.
Yeah, but the comment's gone. That's what I was getting at is, so I tell Miss Kitty, I'm all, look at that comment, and she's, oh, I can't find it, you know, and that was on the Chromebook, and I was all, check the, you know, because we got our new laptop, I was all, check the laptop, maybe, you know, the Chromebook, something, whatever, so she checks, had nothing, man, it's just gone. And I'm like, what the heck? And I still had it pulled up on here, so she's all, screenshot it. Man, she's so smart. So I screenshotted it, so I took two, you know, and it's a long comment, and I'm actually going to read it to you. And I was just remember catching the thing because he was talking about conspiracy. And like I said, man, I'm not into all the conspiracies. I'm into the facts, man. Right. You know, and the site, and living with the Earth Mother, you know, as close as we do, we see so much, and it's just getting more and more. And not that there hasn't ever been a 4-degree day, you know, on October, whatever it is, you know, getting close to Halloween. Man, I remember as a kid going out on Halloween and being dang cold, but I also remember being, you know, wearing your shorts. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, so it's been going on. It ain't nothing new. No, right. But anyway, them, whoever the powers be that took this comment, you know, off of my YouTube comments thing is what I just don't, you know, what
well,
in
why?
the,
Why would it disappear?
that if you want to start, that'll make you start thinking about conspiracy crap, man.
Right.
And the comment's not even nothing, man. He gave me a couple of links, and that might have been what they shut him down. And all that did, thank God, is Miss Kitty was smart enough to screenshot it because I've been listening to that podcast now. So, it says, morning, Billy. You said something about climate change. Well, it ain't all about. It ain't. Let me hear.
Get your glasses.
Excuse me, man. I ain't got to hold it out here. Said something about climate change. Well, it ain't all about that there hogwash Al Gore made his billions spouting off about, and that you can't, and you can take that to the bank. Check out a YouTuber called Adaptation 2030, man. We've been listening to it for this morning while we were drinking our coffee. Some great stuff. There is some, you know, conspiracy stuff on there and stuff that, you know, you just got to take it, you know.
Do your own research.
Yeah, do your own research. Which,
make your own opinion.
It is a reality-based channel that has creative ideas about how to survive in the coming ice storm. He will tell you what the government ain't talking about. It's not a conspiracy thing that falls apart when you hold up to daylight, but a real world happening that makes sense since the first time you watch the weather report. The other one I recommend is Wells Grand Solar Minimum. Oops, holy crap.
It's a different picture.
Yeah, and then he gave me a link. That is today's post. Be prepared to use your mouse to stop so you can read. I have not watched any of that one yet. Stops that you can read the weather from all over the world. I live in Yakima, Washington, not so very far from where you are, and have seen both of our locals mentioned there.
Locales.
Locales.
You mean just
locals. So basically saying that
right.
He's seen us, you know, local, you know, our area and his area. There you go. I got it, but maybe how I said it was locals. Yeah, it's my hillbilly. Hey, you got that local guy over there, man. He's local. He's local, all right. Squirrel. I mentioned that. To have a big write-up would not be good because it would mean something horrible happened like Iowa and Dakota's last year. Let's hope the climate don't change a whole lot in our neck of the woods. We've got it pretty good so far. So, why the hell did YouTube, or powers being,
somebody
delete that off of my, you know, like I talk all the time, that's why you don't see the counts on my, man, we've watched our counts on our YouTube channel go
like a
skyrocket to like, holy smokes, we're going to get rich. And then wake up the next day, holy shit, I think I have to pay YouTube to put videos on. I mean, it's just stupid. Now they're controlling the dang comments, too. So that was what got me fired up about that. But then we started listening to some of these, man, and there was a, you know, like I said, I just skipped forward, or we just didn't, you know, because I'm not into conspiracy theories, you know, and stuff like that. Do I believe in UFOs and Bigfoot? You bet your sweet diffy. You know, that's a whole different thing. But, dude, it's, like I said on yesterday's video, man, if you do not see, feel, and everything with the, he almost went cross-eyed. What are you doing over there? The see, feel, the change in the air, dude, there's something wrong with you, man, because it is. Now you talk about your, you know, what you were talking about earlier, you know, we're tipping and, the solar flares.
Well, that's just a cycle. The cycle of the sun has a cycle. Everything has a cycle. And just happens that the Earth cycle and the sun cycle are happening at the same time, causing an effect on our weather. Yep. Period. Science.
And the solar flares. Miss Kitty don't like talking about this stuff on here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, you get her when she ain't on this camera, man. She'll be telling you all about it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, because like right now, the what was it called? The
grand solar minimum.
Yeah, because we're at a grand solar minimum. Science, man, the facts. You can sit here and you can write me nasty messages or whatever, but dude, it's just the facts, man.
You're right.
You know, I mean, totally. And right now we're at a low. So you get those solar flares, you know, they're off the sun that you hear about. You know, all the time, man. And when a big one hits it, it's some hot thing and stuff, you know.
Feel it.
Yeah, and you'll even see it on the news, you know. You'll have some crazy thing like that. Well, right now, our positioning with the Earth is not catching those flares. I mean, and it's not letting off the big flares. This is this is how we see it or understand.
Right. The sun is at a minimum, which means it's not producing as much heat, which means we're not receiving as much heat.
Right, which is,
Bam.
Which, I mean, obviously, so it's going to cool down the Earth, and you're going to have, you know, this kind of weather and this crazy change. And then facts, you know, we've learned about it all the way back, is that, you know, the Earth is, you know, I mean,
natural cycle.
We're a little tiny grain of sand, you know, spinning around, going around this, you know, crap like this, and it turns. Right. You know, so I mean, and you tip, you know, proven stuff. You tip on the Kitty keeps hoping that we end up in the banana belt, you know? That we get that Southern California weather up here. But it would kill off all our trees, and I mean, it would be bad.
You get a shift of climate on the face of the Earth because of the way it's tipped, and then at the same time you have a solar minimum, so then everybody is in mass panic because all of these changes are happening simultaneously, and you know, then the conspiracy theories start, and
government and all that, you know, and I don't, you know, and I mean,
it's a cycle.
You know, I mean, I ain't gonna get into anti-government stuff, you know, I mean, I think it all needs to be reevaluated. So, you know, as far as the government stuff, I ain't gonna get all political and all that crap in here. I just, you know, I mean, it's, dude, I ain't even gonna go there as far as the government crap, but, the main thing, man, is all I can say and what we can say is to be, you know, to prepare, man. Stock up your, be as much, you know, self-reliant, because if some craziness, and I ain't, like I said, gonna get all into it, but just keep watching the weather and the different things like that, and be, you know, prepared with food and water.
Always be prepared to adapt, because life is always changing, whether it has to do with the weather or economics or
whatever,
family situations. You just have to be ready to adapt.
And I mean, just be prepared. I mean, just like down in California right now, man, with all the fires, you know, and I'd said 200,000. I don't know if that was the count, but it was actually 20,000 out of the L.A. area. I heard later after I'd done this, and that was in that area. But then they were evacuating. Man, our thoughts and prayers to all y'all down there in California. And then same thing with you know, because you hear something in the morning, it's kind of like the weather report, you know, and I just say something on video, and then I watch the later news thing, and it's, you know, different than it was. But still, it's bad, man. It is scary, scary bad down there in California, man. So, man, our thoughts and prayers are with y'all there. And then they're having the huge storm in, you know, in Colorado and stuff. And I don't watch a ton of news. You know, I do like to catch the nightly news, you know, at least the first 10 minutes just to see, you know, they got that ISIS dude yesterday and stuff, so I watched a little bit more yesterday, just kind of getting the whole thing on that, so you know, that was a good deal. But and so that's basically what we want to say to you is to just try to, you know, live, or at least have a stockpile of enough food and water and stuff for you and your family for, you know, at least a month. You know, our goal is a year, but right now I don't have a year. You know, not a year supply. But that is also, that's a good thing to go from there to the deal. Our lifestyle, you know, we take you out and we show you, you know, we pick berries and dug a few roots, and we know, you know, edible plants, and we got tons of books on all that. A lot of that we do just in case, you know, I mean, just in case. And then we live in this creek bottom right here, and I can't even tell you how many wild foods, you know, are out.
Right here.
You know, right here, man. I mean, I got all kinds of, you know, different roots and wild foods.
We have a big old cockaburs that we allow to grow, and we don't yank them up and try to get rid of them because the roots are really good.
Yeah, man,
so why wouldn't we want to?
Cattails and
we don't have to plant it. We don't have to water it. We don't have to maintain it in any way. It's just growing, and the longer that one plant is there, the bigger the root is. Every year it grows and grows and grows. So.
And the chicory, man. See, so I still have my coffee. And I drink all that because they got Debbie and Max brought me, and then my cousin sent me some too that time. Somebody else sent me some too, but it was the chicory and coffee mix. You know, and we've actually had people in the videos say, "Is that chicory back?" Yes, it is. We've got we've got a
6
lot
foot tall
of chicory
plants. We got a lot of chicory root. We got a lot of lomation, a lot of good edibles right here. So.
And a lot of medicinal, you know, lots of medicinal.
Lots of medicinal.
So that's just one of, you know,
one way that we can adapt and be prepared.
Right, exactly, and to, you know, be self-reliant, take care of yourselves. Yeah. But I would like to. Who sent us all them cases that time?
That was Diana, and Diana.
And they'd send it, you know, those cases, and it actually comes from Utah, from the Mormon.
From the LDS website.
LDS website. Excuse me. All that preppery, dehydrated. Man, that stuff's amazing. You know, we try to, our stuff like that, we do try to rotate.
Right, yeah.
You know,
and
keep it, yeah, and you should do that, you know, to use it. So, I mean, if nothing else, you end up, man, you know, you have a slow week or whatever, or you don't want, you know, you live like we do, and you don't want to run that 150-mile round trip, man. It's like, hey, don't we have some or some powdered mashed potatoes out there? Everybody thinks because we're from Idaho, you just walk out here and grab a potato out of the ground.
Or growing off a tree.
Yeah, or off a tree. That was awesome. But man, so that's our little, you know, whether it's the way you look at it, or when you got anything else you wanted to say along that lines. Miss Kitty just didn't even want to do a video like this. But I mean, like, we ain't getting all political. I'm not all. Am I a lot more mellow than you thought I'd?
Yeah, a little bit.
But it is so dang cold out there.
Well, and it's not just the temperature; it's the wind.
It's the wind. The wind's the killer.
The wind is just whipping.
The wind chill, yeah. Because the temp, I don't even know what the temp was out there, man. But when I looked at the deal, it was like 4 or 5 degrees.
Well, when I got up, it was. Well, that was the wind chill factor. It was actually. Like,
no, because it's out of the wind.
Oh, you saw it on the thermometer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just said like 17 degrees with wind chill of 4.
What, on the news or on the thing?
On my phone.
Oh, you can't listen to that. Well, it is the weather service. I mean, they do pretty good about it.
I don't know. It's cold.
It's dang cold. That's all I know, man. And I had my, I cooked this out of here last night, man. It was
really nice.
Yeah, really nice. Woke up this morning, though, and the fire was dead out, and it was dang cold.
Hey, Hey, your Bluetooth.
Hey, thanks, Ma. That's a good way. I should be doing. I should do a one of those videos.
A review.
A review of this. Look at that little thing, man.
That's what he got himself for his birthday.
Yeah, well, my mom sent me.
Yeah.
Sent me some moolah. I went out and got that, man. I think this one was right at $30 or something like that, man. And yeah, it's just
Small
that's
enough
when we were
that
listening.
he can
Yeah,
stick in his
know.
pocket and do his work.
Miss Kitty's got. Whoa, Miss Kitty's got one. It's bigger.
Yeah, it's not a pocket
But
size.
I wanted something where I can stick it, man, just in my pocket and listen to my podcast. Obviously, I shouldn't be listening to those. It gets Miss Kitty all worked up. But man, that's the way we see it as Dirty Jobs guy.
Yeah,
Mike Rowe. If you haven't listened to that podcast, listen to Mike Rowe's.
That's the way.
That's the way I see it.
That's the way
I heard it.
That's how I heard it.
Yeah, man. Anyway, man, I grew up with Paul Harvey. I miss Paul Harvey so much, man. I just love that guy, and that and Mike Rose is a lot along with the lines of the Paul Harvey. Man, it's good. We've listened to every episode I think he's put out so far, but it's good stuff. So that's about all I got, man. I just wanted to touch base on it, but that's how we see it. If you don't like that, or you don't believe the way we feel, man, then go outside.
Yeah.
Because it is flipping cold out there, man.
Yeah.
And not that it hasn't been this cold, man. I remember being hunting with Grandpa, which we were up by Bergdorf, but man, we woke up one morning, man, there was over a foot of snow in the camp trailers, man. And, we gonna get out and go hunting, Grandpa's all, no, we're getting the hell out of here. Because it was just dumping snow, and that was like, first part of October. And we've been snowed on in July.
Oh, yeah.
So. So, I mean, I ain't saying it's all gonna happen overnight, man. Basically, I'm saying just be prepared, man. Just be prepared to take care of you and your family. That's what you got to do. So, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. It helps keep the lights on. Home fires burning. I had that mother up to 650. It was cooking. And propane tank's full. I need to go fill. Forgot our deal yesterday. So, check out the links below. It helps keep the videos coming. And
great way to support the homestead.
Yeah, great way to
check out that eBay.
Wow. And good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise.
We'll be back again tomorrow.
See ya!